I'm going to show you the first sentences of 50 of the greatest novels ever written, like The Grapes of Wrath, War and Peace, Catcher in the Rye, The Great Gatsby, and a whole lot more. So one after the other, each first sentence of a famous novel will appear on screen, and you'll have a few seconds to think of what novel the words are from. Are you ready to test your knowledge of great literature? Alrighty then, sit back, get comfortable, and here we go. It was a bright, cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. Well, Prince, so Genoa and Lucca are now just family estates of the Bonapartes. In my younger and more vulnerable years, my father gave me some advice that I've been turning over in my mind ever since. To the red country and part of the gray country of Oklahoma, the last rains came gently, and they did not cut the scarred earth. If you really want to hear about it, the first thing you'll probably want to know is where I was born and what my lousy childhood was like. I have just returned from a visit to my landlord, the solitary neighbor that I shall be troubled with. When he was nearly 13, my brother Jem got his arm badly broken at the elbow. Except for the Marabar Caves, and they are 20 miles off, the city of Chandrapur presents nothing extraordinary. A few miles south of Soledad, the Salinas River drops in close to the hillside bank and runs deep and green. Happy families are all alike, but unhappy families are unhappy in their own way. Mother died today. I am an invisible man. Who is John Galt? It was a pleasure to burn. A screaming comes across the sky. Call me Ishmael. We slept in what had been the gymnasium. "124 was spiteful. What's it going to be then, eh? Howard Rourke laughed. On the pleasant shore of the French Riviera, about halfway between Marseille and the Italian border, stands a large rose-colored hotel. It was love at first sight. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. There was no possibility of taking a walk that day. I am a sick man. I am a spiteful man. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Miss Brooke had that kind of beauty which seems to be thrown into relief by poor dress. This is the saddest story I have ever heard. He was an old man who fished alone in a skiff in the Gulf Stream, and he had gone 84 days now without taking a fish. I was born in the year 1632 in the city of York, of a good family, though not of that country, my father being a foreigner of Bremen. The boy with fair hair lowered himself down the last few feet of rock and began to pick his way toward the lagoon. In the late summer of that year, we lived in a house in a village that looked across the river and the plain to the mountains. A bedroom in Reverend Samuel Parris's house, Salem, Massachusetts, in the spring of the year 1692. A squat, gray building of only 34 stories. Over the main entrance, the words, Central London Hatchery and Conditioning Center. He lay flat on the brown pine-needled floor of the forest, his chin on his folded arms, and high overhead, the wind blew in the tops of the pine trees. Once upon a time, there was a woman who discovered she had turned into the wrong person. Someone must have slandered Joseph K. For one morning, without having done anything truly wrong, he was arrested. It was a queer, sultry summer, the summer they electrocuted the Rosenbergs. It was a wrong number that started it, the telephone ringing 3 times in the dead of night, and the voice on the other end asking for someone he was not. Somewhere in La Mancha, in a place whose name I do not care to remember. Hale knew, before he had been in Brighton 3 hours, that they meant to murder him. It was 5 o'clock on a winter's morning in Syria. In our family, there was no clear line between religion and fly fishing. When he woke in the woods, in the dark and cold of the night, he'd reach out to touch the child sleeping beside him. We were somewhere around Barstow, on the edge of the desert, when the drugs began to take hold. Far out in the uncharted backwaters of the unfashionable end of the western spiral arm of the galaxy lies a small, Unregarded Yellow Sun. All this happened, more or less. I have never begun writing a novel with more misgiving.